Welcome to Monday's Market Outlook here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and we have an interesting week ahead, folks. And it seems like every Friday market wrap-up, I say what a crazy week it was. And every Monday Market Outlook, I kick it off with what an interesting week we have. But you can't make a lot of this stuff up. Real quick, didn't have a weekly options live trade brief at 1 o'clock for my members because I was hosting the Timing Research Traders Roundtable. But still, all my weekly options members should have gotten the trade that I sent out right around here. The bottom of the morning here, I sent out a text and email alert on the 24.55, 24.50 weekly bull put spread that expires on Friday. Saw a sell-off at the open here. We'll talk about why. And I said, hey, this ain't the big one, Elizabeth. This ain't the Fred Sanford. I'd sell into this one or buy into this one, but meaning sell a bull put spread. So the probabilities using at-the-money volatility were great. 75% probability of making a max profit on this trade, and I was looking to leg into an iron condor, but I didn't get filled on this yet, guys, and I'm not going to chase it. It's I sent the text alert out at 90 cents, and I mean, hell, mid-market now is 55 cents. So there's a nice, for those of you who got filled on this, there's a nice 35-cent profit in, a couple hours here. So just like last week, we sent out a weekly options trade. Monday afternoon, we closed it the next day for about a 65% gain in one day. So the weekly options trades are looking great. But let's pick our head up and get strategic here, guys. The last week was nuts, from the chief of staff of the White House resigning to. I'm not even going to go through everything that happened last week because it's already, Monday at 2:25, and we're already looking at a ton of stuff happening. Great headline in the Journal, folks. As Washington churns, the world grows more dangerous. The healthcare debacle last week, John McCain. He was a fellow naval aviator. He's a village idiot. The guy's a jerk, okay? Remember, folks, and it's awful that the man contracted a horrific form of brain cancer. Guess where he's going to seek treatment? He's not flying back to that shitty VA hospital in Arizona. Remember, was it Scottsdale, Phoenix, where veterans died while waiting to see a doctor? See, he doesn't have the same health care that you do, or that he just shoved down your throat. Because, all animals are equal. Some animals are more equal than others. George Orwell wrote in Animal Farm. But aside from that, folks, Washington is churning, but the world is growing more dangerous. Trump and Haley, what's her name? Nikki Haley, our United Nations ambassador. This is telling. When you're United Nations ambassador, who is our chief diplomat, everything can be settled through diplomacy, right? When she says, we're done with North Korea, that's it. That kind of should send you a message. When she says there's no more diplomacy, that's it. So we're trying to press China on North Korea. And again, folks, I'm short an FXI bear call spread. Sold a bear call spread a couple weeks ago because I really hope. I mean, I know we have General Kelly, who's now the chief of staff, and we got a lot of generals. We need a couple more admirals. No offense, running around in the White House and the cabinet. But anyway, I think before we fire a real shot at North Korea, we're going to be firing some soft shots at China, and we can, right? I mean, let's boot all their kids out of our universities. All the rich Chinese send their kids to Yale, Harvard, Stanford, MIT. Boot them. Label them a currency manipulator. Hit some of their folks. We should be imposing sanctions on China. The launcher and most of the missile components that were launched over the weekend were made in China, folks. They're giving them the bottle rocket material while saying, well, we can't really do anything about them. So Trump, before, this is very telling as well. You got to take this guy at his word. We'll handle North Korea. It will be handled. We handle everything. And the market dials up 93 points, and we're just whistling past the graveyard. Folks, if you're not hedged for this, man, I don't know when it's going to be. Like I said, I hope we fire some soft shots first. Get ready for this, okay? And again, if you watch the mainstream media, none of this is a big deal. The market only cares when it cares. The market's only going to give a shit about North Korea when it's down 1,000 points and people are dying. It's going to be way too late for you. Make sure you keep an eye on your email. We're going to do I think a live trading webinar at 1 and 4:30 on Thursday to talk about this stuff. But anyway, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play, right? Friday, and if you're watching the liberal media, you didn't see any of this unless you're a member at TGO. The GDP, folks, 2.6%? Are you kidding me? The Obama administration would have declared a national holiday, right? And, of course, wanted to pay everybody. Remember when we had like nothing in front of the decimal point under Obama, or a 1? And how many years I called that a national embarrassment? We get 2.6 print on the GDP on Friday. We were more concerned about Scaramucci, a guy with the name Scaramucci from New York, cursing than we were about our GDP. You can take the liberal media and shove it. But folks, and earnings have been good. U.S. companies post profit growth not seen in 6 years. I predicted this, folks. I said what? This last quarter's earnings and this quarter, I said we will have strong earnings. Now, we're seeing a little bit of a sell on the news. Don't confuse, well, Wiz, it's been great earnings, but we're seeing a little bit of a chop sideways and sell-off. I predicted that, folks. Same thing with the tech earnings, the financials. I said we'll see good earnings, but after you see a rip-your-face-off rally into earnings, you got to take a little bit of a breather here, folks. Oil's starting to take a little bit of a break. I think we buffed 50 yet. We're in the 50-ish, upper 40s, lower 50-ish. This is pretty good. I love this. This is your joke of the day. OPEC has a crippling problem. Its members can't stop pumping. Wait till you see this chart. My members are going to crack up at this. Where is it? It says the price that these different countries need oil to be at for them to get out of debt or to make money. I think some of the countries, it's like, $140 oil, like Qatar or some other. All these countries that have the spigots open are broke, essentially, and they can't stop pumping. They don't understand that, wait a minute, if we stop pumping, the price will go up and we can get out of debt. You're explaining time travel to a caveman when you're talking to Arabs and a free market, folks. Where the hell is that chart? I got to find. I'll show you guys tomorrow in our joint weekly options primary live trade brief. It's crazy. I think the only one who was close was like Saudi Arabia, at $45 oil or something, which is a ballpark. Everybody else has to pump because they're broke. And finally, guys, I spent a lot of time in the timing research webinar talking about this. The VIX is stupid, man. It's cheap. When vol is cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. We gotta get long volatility. I'm going to be talking about this all week. What are we at? Why even look at the VIX, folks? It's like it's stupid cheap. Oh, we 2%. Oh, we're up in the 10. Yikes. What happened last week, folks? We had the first print at 8. Look at this, since like 1993. I called this in the sit rep on Thursday. I said, it's foolish not to get long vol here. And look at that spike. We went from an 848, whatever it was, 858, 848 print, all the way up to an 11.5. That would have been a hell of a trade, man. A $3 spike in the VIX, man. And I got a couple emails and support saying, hey, thanks, Wiz, for the bottle of Camus over the weekend, so to speak. But it's still... Even if you're looking at this going, well, this VIX trade is too late. The average VIX for the past 20 years, folks, has been a what? I just said the magic two numbers, 20. And we're down here at half that. So it's just time, guys. Jeffrey Gunlock, my soulmate here, who also got the election right, he predicted Donald Trump would win and the market rally, and so do we here at Top Gun Options. JP Morgan, investors are starting to hedge against a crash. Not starting to, folks. If you've been at TGO, you've been doing that for a while. Being short vol has been a great trade, but I hope you're storing all those acorns for the day. Being long vol is going to pay huge dividends. So the VXX bullish double verticals that we roll every once in a while, I don't roll them, I set them and forget them. Those things will end up printing money, not if, but when the bad happens here. So I didn't get filled on the one we did like 3-4 weeks ago. I'm going to try and get filled on one this week because we're starting to get way over our ski tips. And we also have what? We got a lot going on this week, but non-farm payroll is the big thing. Remember, the first week of every new month is the first Friday is the payroll number from the previous month. So blistering 222 last month. We're forecasting under 200. So I don't know if this is going to move the market. I mean, the blister didn't do that much. Remember, folks, I officially declared us in bizarro market. Good news is good news. Bad news is good news. And awful news is great news. Barring just some horrific data or macroeconomic or geopolitical event, we're going up. Okay? And I get it. You have to trade the market you have, not the market you want. Not that we want a down market or this thing cut in half, but the market I want, meaning this. Yeah, the earnings are good and the economy's good and the Fed's cradling our head, and telling us everything's going to be great. But, things are good. But I'm not doing my job if I don't kind of scare the hell out of you every once in a while and say, hey, when the shoe drops, it's going to be bad. Especially if you can't watch the market day to day, tick by tick. It's my job to sit here and watch this stuff. That's why I'm freaked the hell out, is because I know when, not if, somebody else fire in the back of the theater, it's going to be all the blue bloods and the dark pools, and they're going to be wearing their golf cleats, since, that's what they do, and they're going to stampede out of that movie theater, and they're going to run all over the retail trader. But hopefully, not the folks here at TGO, okay? So Thursday, 1 o'clock or 4:30. I think I'm going to maybe do 2 of them. We'll see. Keep an eye on your email, because we're going to do that, one of those webinars. Remember, folks, if you're one of my members, you got to grab your tickets for Lake Tahoe. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. Go.topgunoptions.com/Tahoe. Remember, I only have a handful of tickets remaining for the dinners Friday and Saturday night. So I think 5 or 6. I think we're about half. Half the dinners are gone here, guys. So make sure you go to go.topgunoptions.com/Tahoe because we're going to have a great time the first weekend in November, okay? Got to run, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see all of my members, or my weekly options and primary live trade brief members, tomorrow in the primary live trade brief at 10 a.m. Okay, we'll see you.